everybody. Welcome to another edition to Solans Radio Talk. I'm your host, Solan. And, oh boy. I've got some really weird questions. Like, for example, okay. You know what? Screw it. I'll just screw the example. I'll just, I'll try to make this as funny as possible, but I'll also try to answer your questions. So this first question comes to us from a young lady named Joanna. And she asks, Solon, I watched a video from my favorite YouTuber. Do dogs have brains? And it's confused me because now I don't know. So I want to know if dogs have brains. Okay, that is literally what it says. Person may have okay. Well, anyway, in answer to your question, yes, dogs do have brains. Just because they're not human doesn't mean they don't have brains and can't feel pain. For example, if you hit a dog, which I highly recommend you do not do, because they can feel pain, but they also have teeth. So, when you hit a dog, it will feel pain. And if you crack open a dog's head, let's say if you're having to perform a surgery and get something out of their skull or something like that on a dog, you'll have to crack open their head and you will find a brain. It's as simple as that. They can walk without anyone telling them to or anything. But just because they can't talk doesn't mean they don't have a brain. End of story. So, I've also been getting a lot of hate comments, which I'm also going to read. I'm going to read the hate comments and respond to them. But at the same time, now you'll know that most of this stuff that I'm going to answer to you is just my view on things. My view. If you don't like my view, well, just keep in mind that opinions are like assholes and yours is no different. Yours is no better than mine, and mine's no better than yours. So, the next question is from a girl, Chris. She says, God, I really don't want to read this one. She said, Dear Solon, what's wrong with feminism? Oh. Are we going this route again? Okay. I promised I'd answer questions, so I'll answer this to the best of my ability without trying and try to offend as little people as possible. Feminism used to be, and is still supposed to be, about equality of the sexes. It's no longer like that, though. It's what it's supposed to be about, but that's not what it is. Now it's about female supremacy. That's it. Nothing more. Okay. Next we have someone. It's an anonymous question. They said, Dear Solon, would you ever consider drinking bleach? No, I wouldn't. I'd sooner shoot I'd sooner shoot myself in the foot than drink bleach. Oh, you meant like Chris Reagan. Oh, okay. uh, Honestly, if it were me, Chris Reagan has a very, very funny joke. I love that guy. He's absolutely hilarious. But, and sorry if I sound stuffed up. I have a bit of a cold. And I was a little bit late, and I apologize. Sorry, just waking up, guys. I had to get. Sorry, I wasn't here on Sunday. I had to get ready for an inspection on Monday that I had to do. So this is a little late, and I'm sorry about that. But I do know that the next episode on Sunday will have a special dedication to 3 strong women that I know and love. But I need to find the right song for it, which is why it's going to wait till Sunday. As to the rest of your questions. Dear Solon, would you ever consider going on tour? No, because I don't have enough. I don't make enough money to organize one. B, I don't really want to go on tour, and C, I don't really have enough money to keep a crew around. Dear Soren, this next one is from another one. I have a feeling it's another one. I'm not sure. It says, Dear Soren, what do you think of Lacey Green switching sides? Okay, here's what I should probably talk about this. So when it comes to Lacey Green, I don't know if she's really switching sides, but I do know that I completely approve and support her decision to support open conversation with the anti-SJWs, anti-feminists, and so on and so forth. I completely support her decision to do that. And I am completely... But, as we all know, she's been getting a lot of heat lately for her decision. But that's just the will of her fans, okay? In the end, it was her decision, and it still is her decision to make. No matter what we say, it's not our choice. That choice has to be made by Lacey, and in my personal opinion, I think Lacey made the right choice. What I would rather do is I would rather solve things with peaceful talk than with aggressive talk. I would rather, and this is coming from a skeptic myself, I'm not an SJW, I'm not an anti-SJW, I'm just a skeptic. I'm not a feminist or an anti-feminist. I'm just a skeptic who questions ideals and beliefs equally. I was inspired to consider myself skeptic by Armored Skeptic. Go check him out on YouTube, by the way. Awesome content that guy makes. But I know that when it comes to Lacey Green, I think she did a marvelous job deciding. I think she made a good choice deciding that not about switching sides, but deciding to at least open communication. Because at least that way, we can get her point of view from her. We're not seeing it from a camera, we're seeing it from her face to face. If I'm having to debate someone with somebody, I know I would much rather debate it face to face instead of over the cameras. So, I've got enough time for maybe 2 more questions. So this next one is pretty, freaking weird. I'll just do one more question and I'll do an outro song. And this next one was pretty freaking weird. Dear Solon, what do you think about Toon, the famous anti-SJW? Honestly, after subscribing to him and seeing him, I find that he comes under a bit of fire, but he can dish out just as much as he gives. And you gotta appreciate someone who can take a hit and keep on going, And finally, what do you think about the fiasco with PewDiePie and the joke? My God. This one has been discussed to death, guys. I think that Pewds... I don't personally know Felix, but I think that when it comes to Felix, I live by... I'm going to describe it in one sentence. And this is something I got from Assassin's Creed, but it's something I live by. Nothing is true, everything is permitted. So shout out to all you Assassin's Creed fans out there. So, nothing is true means that we understand that the bonds of society are very fragile, and we understand that the bonds of society are very fragile, and that we must carve our own path and make our own destiny. The second one is that everything is permitted. We are the architects of our own actions, and we must be ready to face the consequences of our actions. But that doesn't, without hesitation, but that doesn't mean that you can't show a little respect to yourselves, to your neighbors, and to everyone else. Just because you can. Sometimes that also doesn't mean you should, but sometimes it does. You should always try to show respect and show love instead of hate. But hey, that's just one man's opinion. So, it's food for thought, folks. So, paint your circles like a diamond and paint it for many, many colors. Until next time, everybody.